What's going on, everybody? This is your WOF Outlook and discussion for Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. And before we get into today's video, I hope everyone is doing well, remaining positive, and as always, staying blessed. All right, you guys, taking a look at the tropical Atlantic this morning, we have Tropical Storm Bret right here, which is holding, maintaining intensity of 40 miles per hour. And we also do have Invest 93L behind it, which is showing signs of organization, you guys, but still has quite a bit of work to do before going ahead and be designated as a tropical depression, you guys. But here we're going to zoom in on Tropical Storm Bret real quick, you guys. And as I take off the symbol again, you can see the low level circulation right here spinning, you guys. Bret, as of 5 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time, was located near 11.7 north, 44.7 west, and it was moving west at 17 miles per hour with a minimum pressure of 1,008 millibars and maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour, you guys. So as you can see, Bret is poised to strengthen here as it continues on towards the west and west northwest as it approaches the Lesser Antilles, you guys. And for Invest 93L, it is also poised to strengthen here over the next few days, you guys. But we will continue to watch it because some of the models are starting to back off as far as the intensity goes on Bret and as well as Invest 93L, you guys. So we will definitely keep that on the lookout, you guys. And as we take a look at the latest here, forecast track by the National Hurricane Center on Bret, you guys. All right, get this up and going. You can see this is going to be updated in about an hour, you guys. I have the latest advisory on my shorts and community section, you guys, here at your Weather on the Fly. But as you can see, Bret is expected to come across parts of the Central Caribbean islands here, parts of the Central Lesser Antilles as it heads on into the Eastern and Central Caribbean, where eventually shear and mid-level dry air is going to take its toll on Bret as it enters the Caribbean. So how long it survives as it tracks across the East and Central Caribbean, you guys, we have to constantly watch that each and every day because eventually Bret may meet its demise, you guys, somewhere south of the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and around Jamaica. Now I'm gonna put the water vapor imagery on, you guys. Let's get to the water vapor imagery real quick. All right, you guys, and as I zoom out the water vapor imagery, you can see here we have the ridge of high pressure, the strong dominant ridge here across the Atlantic, which is pushing Bret off towards the west northwest, you guys. But within 3 to 4 days, you see this trough that we have here off the Florida Peninsula here, you guys, off the east coast of the United States. This trough is forecast to deepen here and amplify somewhat, which is going to cause the ridge to weaken, you guys. Which, if Bret was stronger, we would have a Bret would probably more than likely turn up north and out to sea here, you guys. But since Bret is going to more than likely be weakening as it enters the Caribbean, is going to most likely go with the low level easterly flow and just head straight on west and towards the Caribbean, you guys. And as well with Invest 93L, this same ridge is going to be steering 93L, potentially Cindy here within the next few days off towards the west northwest. But depending on how strong this one gets, as Invest 93L gets as well, will determine on how does this trough that's going to be set up near Puerto Rico interacts with 93L as we head towards the end of the week and into the weekend, you guys. So this is going to definitely be something that we will continue to watch here, you guys, at your Weather on the Fly. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date and weather aware as the National Hurricane Center comes out with their updates. I have them posted here right for you guys at your Weather on the Fly. Now, as we take a look, courtesy of Tropical Tidbits, you guys, this is the latest GFS run. And as you can see, we have the dominant high pressure ridge that I showed you guys on water vapor imagery positioned to the north of Bret. We continue this on out. Here's Wednesday morning. You can see Bret strengthens throughout today, you guys, as it continues chugging along towards the Caribbean islands. We get to Thursday morning, you guys, you can see the ridge starts to weaken some here on the GFS, but at the same time, Bret is weakening as well as it approaches the central and northern Leeward Islands. And yet, we probably do have a weak tropical depression 4 here, possibly by Thursday morning behind Bret. You go to Friday morning, 78 hours, you guys, you can see Bret crosses the north central Leeward Islands. It's probably a minimum tropical storm here, you guys. Might not know the exact intensity, you guys, but as of right now, the National Hurricane Center is calling for a hurricane to pass through the Leeward Islands, but this could easily be a tropical storm as well coming through the islands, you guys. And you can see we probably have Tropical Storm Cindy around this time here Friday morning. As we continue this on out to Saturday, you can see Bret continues to weaken as it heads west across the east central Caribbean, you guys. And you can see Cindy will be out here across parts of the central Atlantic. Here's the ridge of high pressure, you guys. We continue this on out to Sunday morning. Here's Bret. Whatever's left of Bret here is south of Jamaica, you guys, on Sunday morning. Here's Cindy starting to weaken here on the GFS, you guys, as this trough along the eastern seaboard starts to weaken the ridge. And what's left of Cindy, if it's still going to be a system or not, will more than likely moisture probably get drawn up to the north here, you guys, as we head into Monday morning. You can see this is where Cindy's leftover moisture and circulation will be at. Will it be just a basically tropical wave to weak low pressure, what the GFS is showing, or will it be a bona fide tropical storm? That remains to be seen, you guys. And as we head towards Monday morning as well, you can see the GFS has what's left of Bret here approaching the Northwest Caribbean here, the leftover moisture, you guys. And as we head into Tuesday, you guys, Monday evening going into Tuesday, you can see Bret's leftover moisture here around, hanging out around Cuba and Jamaica. Cindy then basically vanished here across the central Atlantic, and the GFS starts to develop some eastern Pacific systems. So, you guys, this will be something we're just going to keep an eye on because Mother Nature is very busy. She is really unleashing her weather fury on us, you guys. Now, as we head towards the European, here we go, the latest European from the overnight run, you guys. You can see here, high pressure across, positioned on top of Bret in 93L. We move this on out to Wednesday morning, you guys. You can see here, high pressure still very dominant and in control. Bret here moving off towards the west-northwest, possibly tropical depression 4 here as we head into Wednesday on the European. As we head to Thursday morning, you guys, you can see Bret is starting to head towards the southern and central Leeward Islands here, you guys, on the European, and not really that strong, probably a weak tropical storm at most. And you do have Tropical Depression 4, possibly weak Tropical Storm Cindy here by Thursday morning behind Bret on the European. As we continue this on out, you guys, hold on. All right, you guys. All right, let's continue this on. Sorry about the technical difficulties. As we continue this on, here we go. Thursday afternoon and evening, the European has Bret coming through the central Caribbean islands, you guys, central Leeward Islands. As we continue this on out to Friday morning, you can see it has Tropical Storm Cindy here out across the central Atlantic, ridge of high pressure on top of the system here, you guys. And look here, what's left of Bret moving across the east central Caribbean, weakening, you guys. We head on towards Saturday morning. You can see the European has Cindy still here across parts of the central Atlantic under this ridge. We have this trough here across the eastern seaboard, and yet again, what's left of Bret here still tracking across the south of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Then we head towards Sunday morning, you guys, on the European. And as you can see, what's left of Bret is now here across parts of the central Caribbean, south of Jamaica. And we also have Cindy starting to make her way up towards the north as this trough starts to weaken the ridge here across the Atlantic, you guys. And we're going to put this out further into Monday morning, you guys. And as you can see, the European basically vanishes Bret remnants here into just moisture that's across the Southwest Caribbean. The European does develop Tropical Storm Adrian here across the Eastern Pacific. That remains to be seen, you guys. We will keep an eye on that. And we still have Cindy here that'll possibly be across the Central Atlantic here, you guys, continuing to move on up towards the north and weaken. Now, let's compare the European and GFS 7-day forecast. You can see here in 7 days, the European has Cindy up here, weakening to about a depression, Bret is nowhere to be found, you guys, with Adrian here across the Eastern Pacific. Here's the GFS at 7 days. Cindy is nowhere to be found. Bret is nowhere to be found. And we have possibly some spin up happening here across the Eastern Pacific. So the next few days, you guys, is very much murky. We're not sure what could possibly happen with these systems. But we know as far as Bret is going to meet his demise, and I'm going to show y'all just why. Taking a look here at the GFS wind shear analysis in the upper levels. As you can see here, you guys, as we had Tuesday morning, upper level winds are fairly favorable at the moment, you guys. As we push this on out to Wednesday, you can see across Bret here, upper level winds are still favorable, even across Invest 93L, soon to be tropical depression for you guys. We head towards Thursday. Is Bret starting to approach the Caribbean islands, you guys? Look here across around the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. We have a little trough here that's starting a little mid-level shortwave trough that starts to dig here across the Eastern Caribbean. As we head towards Friday morning, you guys, you can see Friday morning as the GFS has this system crossing the northern and central leeward islands Thursday night into Friday morning, you guys. You can see this trough across the Eastern Caribbean starts to induce quite a bit of southwesterly shear here across Bret, you guys. So that is why Bret is forecast to weaken as it continues to move on in to the Caribbean. As you can see, once we get to Saturday morning, the shear is on and popping here across Bret as it is south of the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico. So weakening is definitely going to be in store here, you guys. Here is Tropical Depression 4, possibly Cindy. As of right now, the environment looks favorable for that storm by Saturday morning. But you can see, you guys, as we start to get to Sunday morning, here's the remnant of Bret, you guys, across the East Central Caribbean with that shear just tearing whatever is going to be left of Bret up. Cindy is right up in here, you guys, and you can see the flow out of the west here. That west southwesterly shear is going to start to possibly take its toll on Tropical Depression 4 / Cindy here, as well as we come into the upcoming weekend, you guys. So we're not sure what the fate of these storms are going to be really past 5 days. Both of them could more than likely just meet their demise due to westerly wind shear. You have to remember, you guys, even though this is very unusual what we have going on here across the Atlantic with these storms developing this early, we still have to remember it is June, and we know June is not that really typically that favorable. So if these systems do die out within the next few days, you guys, let's not be surprised because it is June. So at the same time, is very unusual that we do have these systems. But if they do tend to meet their demise here, let's not be surprised. All right, you guys, as we take a look at the rest of the Atlantic here, you guys, you can see the Caribbean is fairly quiet, even getting here into parts of the southwestern Atlantic. The Eastern Pacific also quiet, you guys, heading into the Gulf of Mexico. I'm going to put the water vapor imagery back on real quick. All right, you guys. And as I put the water vapor imagery back on, you can see water temperatures are very well into the 80s here across the Gulf, Caribbean, Atlantic. So that's no problem, you guys. But as you can see, as we're about to head into the lower 48 weather, you can see we have a dominant ridge here yet again, still over Mexico. This ridge has been fairly stout and hanging in pretty tough here. This ridge should start to continue to build to the north here, you guys, forcing in some hot weather across parts of the plains. We do have this upper level cutoff low, you guys. You can see that's across parts of Alabama, Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee. That's going to continue to bring an active week of severe weather and rain here across parts of the Gulf Coast and South, you guys. And we also have a system here across parts of the Pacific Northwest that is funneling in. Look at this southwesterly flow in the mid levels. This strong belt of winds will ignite some severe weather across parts of the northern plains here, North Dakota, South Dakota, you guys, as we head on in to later on today. Now, as I pause it, you guys, and we get into the convective outlook, I'm going to take that off. All right, you guys, we get into the convective outlook. You can see we have the slight risk of severe weather across the lower Mississippi Valley. Deep south here does include New Orleans. Ocean Springs, Mobile, heading up into Alexandria, Lafayette, Baton Rouge, Bogalusa, you guys. We also have a slight risk here, yet again, as I said, up across parts of North Dakota, South Dakota, extending into eastern Montana, you guys. A marginal risk does extend all the way down to Miami, Florida. As we check the probability of how these storms are going to materialize throughout the day, we do have a 2% chance of a few spin-ups of tornadoes here across parts of North Dakota, South Dakota, and yet again across the Gulf Coast here, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama does have a chance of a few tornadoes spinning up today. Hail, we do have a 15% chance of hail across the extreme northern plains and across Louisiana and extreme East Texas for hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inches in diameter. Wind here, you guys, we have a 15% chance as well across North Dakota and South Dakota for winds pushing 50 to 60, gusting as high as 70. And yet here across Louisiana, the Mississippi and Alabama Gulf Coast have a 15% chance of those winds pushing 50 to 60, gusting to 70. No significant tornadoes, no significant hail, and no significant winds, you guys. So that is always good news. Now, as we check the HRRR to see just how these storms are going to materialize in the next 48 hours. All right, you guys, you know we always start here at your noon hour, at your weather on the fly. All right, as this low, you guys, you can see by 12 o'clock, not much going on here up across parts of the extreme northern plains. But down here across parts of the Southeast United States, mid-Atlantic, could have some showers and thunderstorms across the Carolinas, Virginia. Look here across the Florida Peninsula where the marginal risk is at. Isolated hail and damaging winds will be a threat here, you guys. Now look here across, extending across parts of the Mississippi Gulf Coast in towards parts of north central, northeast Louisiana. Heavy cluster of showers and thunderstorms. All hazards will be possible here in this area. As we head on to about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you guys. All right, look at the cluster of showers and thunderstorms increasing in coverage here across parts of eastern Tennessee, the Carolinas, Virginia, even Kentucky here with the showers and thunderstorms. Not much is going on here across parts of the northern plains just yet. Yet again, it's still going to be rumbling across the Florida Peninsula from Jacksonville down to Miami. Here across the New Orleans area around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, we could see some heavy showers and thunderstorms here, you guys. Look here, 4 o'clock. This cluster of storms moving in towards the New Orleans metro area. We get into 5 o'clock, that cluster of storms start to head on off towards the east southeast here, you guys. And look at the showers starting to develop across parts of northern Georgia into Tennessee here. These storms are starting to increase in coverage and intensity, you guys. Definitely be on the lookout. We head on towards 8, 9 in the evening, you guys. And you can see here across parts of the northern plains, North Dakota, South Dakota, eastern Montana. Look at these cells here. All hazards will be possible, but mainly damaging winds and large hail will be on the table, you guys. Look here across parts of southern Louisiana. We could definitely have some more showers and heavy thunderstorms redeveloping across Lafayette, New Orleans, Ocean Springs, Mississippi, the Alabama Gulf Coast as we head in towards the evening hours, you guys. Still going to be rumbling here across parts of Georgia, South Carolina, down into the Florida's peninsula here, you guys. We head into the overnight hours about 12, 1 o'clock. But still have a few showers here across parts of southern Louisiana into Mississippi, the Florida's peninsula here, you guys. Leftover showers and thunderstorms could be in store for parts of North Carolina, getting into parts of southern Virginia as we head into the overnight hours. And up here across parts of North Dakota, extending into South Dakota, isolated hail and damaging winds will still be ongoing here as we head into the overnight hours. Now, as we segue into Convective Outlook Day 2, you guys, the Storm Prediction Center does have now a slight risk from parts of the northwest Texas here, the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, extending on into parts of western Nebraska, Kansas, eastern Colorado, your same areas across the southern into the central plains for severe weather on Wednesday, you guys. As we check the probability, 2% chance of a few tornadoes spinning up here across parts of western Nebraska, northeast Colorado. Hail probability. 15% chance of hail from northwest Texas into parts of eastern Wyoming here, you guys. For that hail pushing 1 to 1.5 inch in diameter. 15% chance of winds here across parts of western Oklahoma, northwest Texas, and another area of winds pushing 50 to 60, gusting to 70 here across parts of western Nebraska and northeast Colorado. No significant tornadoes is expected, no significant hail, and no significant winds as of right now. So that is always good news, you guys. And as we continue to HRRR out to about 12 p.m. here on Wednesday, you can see, you guys, not much going to be going on across the central southern plains just yet, but may have a cluster of showers here across parts of southeastern and South Dakota. Look here across parts of the mid-Atlantic, heavy rain here. Going to be on the lookout for some possible flash flooding here. Showers and thunderstorms will start to increase in coverage here and intensity across parts of north central Alabama, Georgia, and parts of South Carolina here as we head towards the noon hour on Wednesday. Look at the strong cluster of storms here across the eastern Gulf heading towards the Florida's peninsula. You guys, and as you can see, we head towards 4 or 5 in the afternoon on Wednesday. Look at the increase in showers and thunderstorms across Alabama, Georgia, now starting to get towards southeastern Tennessee. Parts of the Florida's peninsula from Jacksonville to Miami could still see some isolated hail and damaging winds as we head throughout the day on Wednesday. As we head towards Wednesday evening, 8, 9 o'clock in the evening, you guys, you can see here across the plains. Look here. Across the north central plains, Nebraska, South Dakota, heavy sales here, you guys. Hail and damaging winds will be in store. Look here, even up across parts of eastern and North Dakota, heavy showers and thunderstorms. We'll still have some ongoing storms here across parts of central Texas, possibly around 9 p.m., you guys, on Wednesday. We go as far as the HRRR will take us out, which will be 1 a.m. on Thursday, you guys. And you can see it's going to be rocking from North Dakota, South Dakota, to parts of west central Nebraska. Flash flooding will also be a possibility here as well. Now, that's as far as the HRRR takes us out, you guys. That's going to segue us into Convective Outlook Day 3, which as of right now, which will be Thursday, June 22nd, the Storm Prediction Center just have a marginal risk here from parts of the extreme northern Texas panhandle, extending on up into parts of southeastern Wyoming here for severe weather, you guys. That's not going to be it. As I clear the models off, you guys, and we continue this convective outlook on out for Friday, June 23rd, we will yet again have a probability for severe weather across parts of the central plains, the same risk areas yet again, parts of west central Nebraska on down into west central Kansas here, you guys, for Friday. On Saturday, you guys, for the 24th, we could yet again, let me make sure, day 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, Friday, Saturday, June 24th, you guys, the severe threat will shift towards parts of northern Missouri, Iowa, parts of southwest Minnesota, you guys. So we'll definitely be on another active week of severe weather heading on into the weekend, you guys. So if you haven't done so already, please be sure to share, like, and subscribe so you all can stay up to date and weather aware as the Storm Prediction Center and National Hurricane Center comes out with the updates. I have them posted here right for you guys at your weather on the fly. And we're going to take one more quick look at Bret and Invest 93L before we go here, you guys. And as you can see, here they go spinning their way across the Atlantic, you guys. And the next advisory for Bret will be up by the time y'all start watching this video. So this will be posted in my shorts section, you guys. That's going to be it for this video. Everyone be safe, be careful, and I'll talk to you all in the next one.